So while Iranians were focused and it was kind of singled out, there were some Iranian students who were actually killed. They were thrown off bridges, especially in Georgia and down south. So focus became Iranian people. Somehow people picked out, they knew the difference, especially in a smaller community that weren't too many of us around.
Any other comments?
No.
All right. So you're still in the house of this lady. I want to move quickly because our time is running.
Yes, we have to move quick.
Yes.
So I went ahead and started working.
Yes.
And I worked at a nursing home. That was a shock itself. At that time, we didn't have any nursing homes. But nevertheless, I met this one lady who was elder, and we call her the laundry lady. I don't know her name to this day. But the laundry lady was one of the first people who came to me. And she said, I'm a Christian. I've seen how people hate you Iranians. Can I pray for you?
Wow. Wow.
I was thrown off. And the main reason I got thrown off was I've never had any Christian tell me they're going to pray for me. But here she was a woman. And you know, in the culture in the Middle East, I want to be honest, women were treated as second-class citizens. But more than that, she had one leg. She has a prosthesis on the other leg. So she was handicapped. And as you know, in the Middle East, you know, handicaps, when I grew up, they were considered rather cursed. They put them away. They were embarrassed of them. So here I'm looking at this woman who's a handicap. She's the first one who reaches out and says to me with compassion, I'm going to pray for you. Is there anything I can do for you? Is your family okay?
Wow.
And I thought, I didn't know what to say to her. I just said, thank you. And then she would sit in a break room and ask me about my family. And she talked to me about, you know, my faith. You know, she wasn't aware of Islam in any fashion, but she was showing interest. She showed interest. And she told me, you know, I went to church and I asked the pastor and the congregation to pray for you and your family.
Wow.
And that was the first time.
Opening the door now, slowly. All right.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to continue here. Shortly after, I met at work, I met a nurse. And I was very attracted to her. She was American, and I rather charmed her. I put on the good old Eastern man's charm. And so I met her family, and of course I couldn't communicate with my family very well. Every now and then I wrote them and told them I've met this young lady and I really like her, and we started dating. I wasn't used to dating, but you know, courtship is nothing foreign to Iranians. You know, we do that, but usually in a different setting. But you know, I was on my own now, so I started seeing her, and then I met her mom and dad, and they were very devout Christians. They were very good people, and I thought, okay, you know, I really like her, I love her now, and I want to marry her. And so I asked her, and she said yes. She grew up in church.
Wow.
She was a Christian girl. And to make a long story short, we got married. We did not get married in church. I would not get married in church. I was a Muslim. So she agreed, that's fine. And we went to the courthouse, and then we went ahead and got married. And that evening, when we got home, I remember I told her, well, honey, now you know that you are a Muslim now.
Wow, okay.
And for some reason, that didn't go over very big with her. And however, you see, she told me later on that I was very intrigued with you because, first of all, your manners. Second of all, you have faith. You pray more than anybody I know. And you don't cuss, you don't drink, you don't smoke. Everything and you love families and you respect the elderlies. Everything that my father has told me I need to look for in a man, I found in you. So I did not look as you being a Muslim as any problem or obstacle.
Yes.
And that's one of the main reasons many Muslim and Christian get married. Because if you're a good Muslim, Christians would see that same qualities
they're attracted to it.
Attracted to it, of course. Yeah. And the same reason I was attracted to her. She had the qualities that I was looking for in a family, very close family. They had the grandmother living with them, and they took care. And the father was a wonderful, wonderful, faithful man. And he's the main reason I came to Christ.
Wow, wow. How?
Well, they retired to close area that we were.
And of course, you told your wife if we have kids, they are.
Oh yes,
You told her they're Muslims.
Yes.
All right.
And they came and moved to the area. He was building a retirement home right on the lake.
That's her dad.
Yes, her mom and dad.
Your
Yes.
father-in-law. All right.
Yes, and he was a master electrician. He had his own business building.
Mm-hmm.
So now he was building his own retirement home, and a very bright man. And he lived with the grandma lived with them.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I visited them when they were renting a house while they were building one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was downstairs and early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and I went to go to wash up to get ready for
Your
prayer.
prayers, yeah, okay.
And I hear loud noise upstairs. It was before the sun came out. And I come up and I see them, all three of them,
Mm-hmm.
mom, dad, and grandma, holding hands and praying loud.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard Christians at home pray loud.
Mm-hmm.
And they were praying with passion. They were praying for everybody and everything. They had a list.
Mm.
And they were praying for even people's dogs
Mm-hmm.
who were sick or animals. And it was really eye-opening for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't know I was watching them. But then I found out later on that they've been doing this for 30 or 40 years. This is a norm with them. They wake up early in the morning before he goes to work, and they have a devotion time, prayer.
David has some comment to
Muslim,
say.
did you pray for everyone?
As a Muslim, I'm sorry.
Did you pray for everyone as a Muslim?
I can't say I did.
So as a Muslim, you wouldn't pray for everyone to get along and love each other and have good lives?
We pray for peace as long as it's peace in Islam.
Mm-hmm.
I was not taught to pray unless somebody calls specifically and says, I'm sick and we need prayer, and we call that, the prayer, we call that dua. It's a different kind of prayer as reciting Quran. And those things are done, but to tell you the truth, to pray every time or all the time for peace, people get along, no.
Now,
I was reciting Quran.
One quick question about marrying, as a Muslim, marrying a non-Muslim woman. What would your reaction have been if a Muslim woman had married a non-Muslim man?
Haram. That's not allowed, because when a woman marries a man who's non-Muslim, she is to lean to his faith. However, there was an Iranian girl who did marry a man who was not Muslim, but he chose later on to become a Muslim. But I remember very well, we literally excommunicated her, and I would not ever suggest it. However, we were encouraged to marry good non-Muslim women and convert them to Islam, and then our children would be Muslims, and that would add to Islam. It was not something that we were forbidden to do.
Now, this woman that you just spoke of, was this in Iran or was this here in the United States?
No, in the United States. Yeah, it was in the United States.
You mentioned a woman who married a non-Muslim man. And you said you excommunicated her. Was this in Iran or the United States?
It was in the United States. She went to school
wow.
with, the group of Iranians. She went to school with us, and she chose to marry an American man, non-Muslim.
Something else you have something else to add or to ask?
No. I just wanted to clarify that.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
So I continue. I
Yes.
began to watch my father-in-law and mother-in-law and the family, because it was new to me, the way they approached. And he was a very hard-working man, and he would build his house. And I remember watching him read the Bible chapters after chapters. And then on Sundays, he did not work. He went to church. And then he took a Sunday afternoon nap, and then he went to Sunday night church. And I remember, thinking, this is a good, faithful family. I'm going to have a harder time getting him to Islam because they're very faithful